Welcome to the RDI Railing Designer app overview. Today, you'll walk entirely through the app, from install through to creating a usable quote complete with a bill of materials. To access the app, you have two options. The first option is to download the app onto your iPad from the Apple App Store. If you don't have an Apple ID, you will need one. To find it, search for RDI Railing Designer, then download and install. The app should now appear on one of your home screens, from where you can launch the app quickly and easily. The other option is to go to our website, www.rdirail.com, where the app is also available to view and use on our website. Go to www.rdirail.com and click the app link at the top of the page. You will need to have Internet Explorer to use the app on our website, and you will be prompted to install the Unity plugin. Please note that the web version and the iPad version are identical, except for the ability to use a photo as a custom background, which is something you will see a little later. Now you are ready to choose one of the three available options to log into the app. The first option is called Licensed Distributor. This option is for licensed users of the app who have received login information from RDI. This login option allows the user to generate quotes with pricing, as well as to utilize a robust sales reporting and tracking system, which we will go over later. The other two options, Unlicensed Distributor and Homeowner, both work identically, but we recommend that you choose the title that best suits you, so we can better assist you should you need to contact us. With these options, configurations are able to be saved and reloaded, and a bill of materials will be generated, but access to the sales reporting system and pricing will not be available. For demonstration purposes, you will be logging in as a licensed distributor today, but the workflow would be identical until the final few steps where you generate a bill of materials. Now that you have logged in, you will see a simple three-step introductory walkthrough. You can turn this on and off in the settings, which we will explore next. Click on the gear icon in the toolbar to open up the Settings menu. The Settings menu allows you to change some common settings and customize the feel of the controls. There are speed and momentum settings for pan and turn, and a zoom speed setting as well. The speed settings control how quickly or slowly each action happens. The momentum setting, when increased, changes what happens after you complete an action. For example, if you choose pan and increase the momentum setting, it would result in a pan for a longer time after the panning motion was stopped. Keep in mind that we have these settings set to a reasonable level, and they only need to be adjusted if you prefer it to look and feel differently. As we mentioned earlier, here in the Settings menu, you can turn on and off the tutorial, the railing dimensions, you can adjust many camera settings, and use the toggle to optimize the interface to a left-handed user. Next to the Settings menu are a number of other useful icons. To the left is a static overhead view of the deck. To the right is the background section, which we will discuss later. Next is Help, followed by a view toggle. Lastly is the trash icon, which will delete your current configuration and allow you to start over. Next, let's take a look at the controls. These controls should seem familiar and function like most other iOS apps. For example, you can pinch to zoom in and reverse to zoom out. A touch and drag will move you around the screen. Panning is done by touching and dragging with 2 fingers. In the web version, the controls are very similar. Zooming is done with the mouse's scroll wheel, and panning is done by clicking and holding both mouse buttons while moving the mouse. Now, let's start designing our deck. The first step in designing our deck is to add a background. Here you can change the grid color and turn on and off the grid lines. You can also select one of the included photos as a background image. After you choose one of the pictures or take a custom photo of where the deck will be, remember that's in the iPad version only, you can then adjust the position of the image. This allows you to align the picture with your deck to be able to view your deck in a real-life context. You can also go back and adjust your image at any time by clicking the icon between the gears and the question mark. Next, you are going to adjust the dimension of our deck. You will start with a square deck of 2 feet height with 20 feet length. To adjust the height, grab the square with an arrow attached and drag up or down to the desired height. You can also select the calculator icon next to the height dimension to manually enter the height. Now, let's change some other dimensions. By default, snap mode is on, which allows angles in 22.5-degree increments. This can be helpful to ensure all configurations will be compatible with all of our products, but free to move will allow you to create any degree of angle. These 2 modes can also be used in tandem to quickly design your deck by using free move first and then switching to snap to confirm that the angles are correct. Again, you can also click on the calculator icon next to each measurement to manually input each side. Before moving on to adding walls, stairs, and any existing posts, let's take a look at some different models. After selecting support models in the top toolbar, you should see that you have rectangular, octagonal, and L-shaped. These 3 basic shapes should allow you to accurately design almost any deck that you can imagine. Let's switch over to the L-shaped model and continue on. Now, select Next in the bottom action menu to progress to wall placement. This allows you to add or remove walls that will be attached to the deck. To remove a wall, touch an X and add a wall by touching the plus sign. Next, let's work with our stairs. You can add and remove stairs in much the same way as we did with the walls, with the X and plus signs. After you have added a stair, you can adjust the location, rise, run, and width. To move the location, touch the horizontal arrow and slide left or right. To adjust the width, slide the square with an arrow up or down, or use the width slider in the bottom action menu. This is also where we adjust the rise and run. You will notice that if the rise or run is adjusted out of a compatible range, you will receive a warning. This indicates that our stair kits will not work at the chosen angle and that the installer will need to make modifications to utilize a stair kit with this configuration. To adjust additional stairs, touch the stair and then make the adjustments in the same way as the first one. Now, let's move on to adding existing support columns by selecting Next. To add an existing post and move it to its desired location, simply drag it. Then select from the available square and round post sizes. Lastly, adjust the height of your post. Additional posts can be added the same way, but if no existing posts need to be added, just hit Next. The last adjustment you can make to the deck configuration is in the Porch Materials section. This simply allows you to change the color of the decking. Keep in mind that before you save our support model, you can also go back at any time to an earlier step by clicking the back button or touching the numbered step name at the bottom of the screen. Before you start choosing your railing, you'll need to save your deck configuration. This is very important, as it allows you to store this deck and reopen at a later date to adjust it. These saved deck configurations are accessible by selecting Support Models. You would then touch Add to bring up your previously saved deck configuration. Now that you have saved your deck, it's time to start adding some railing. After selecting Apply Products, you are able to cycle through our available products and see a preview of how each will appear on our deck. Let's start by selecting Transform, and then the checkbox. Next, you will select if this is for a residential or commercial build. Select a color for your posts, and then, if you choose, you can also change the color and style of the railing. Remember that for a better look, you can zoom in and out to get a good look at your color and style choices. Also in this menu, you can select a section of railing and then click Railing Added to remove it. In our next section, you can add and remove stair railing from our stairs. You can also adjust where the stair railing ends and the style. You can select from square or round balusters and choose their color. Afterwards, you can choose cap style, color, and gates at the top of a stair section. Note that if you receive a warning message, a gate cannot be placed on these stairs because a gate of that size is not available. Before we save our railing configuration, you can click on Apply Products now or at any point to change to a different product line. This will allow you to quickly generate quotes for different product lines with updated bills of materials. Finally, let's save our railing configuration and create our quote by selecting Save in the top toolbar. After naming your configuration and clicking Save, your quote is generated. A homeowner or unlicensed distributor will at this point receive an email with a bill of materials that can be used to procure the materials needed, as well as a link to reopen and edit this configuration. This email can also be forwarded to other users to be viewed and edited. You can also check the Contact Me box, and our customer service will contact you about this quote. Licensed users will be redirected to the sales reporting and tracking system to edit their quote and then save it. A separate training via PDF is available for this sales and tracking system. Thanks for watching our video. If you like our app, please rate it in the App Store. We'd appreciate it. As always, any questions or comments, please go to rdirail.com, choose Customer Support to reach out to us via email, or call us at 877-420-7245. Thanks again.